What's up, ladies and gents? This is old Jamesy Poo with the Super Death Grind, episode 10.2, week 10, day 2. I think I got that right. Hanging out in the old office this morning, had to do some things. Updates. So I'm doing a little staycation uh, this week. Staycation. Hanging out with the fam, getting some side projects done, getting some house chores done. Uh, yeah, it's going great. No caffeine. I feel amazing. Um, I slept 8 hours on Sunday. That felt great. I woke up at 3 a.m. today. It's 4:33 in the morning. Everything's feeling good. Man, I had a great day with my kids yesterday and my wife. It was fantastic. Super duper 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 fun. Got a lot of house chores done. I'm gonna get even more house chores done today. And yeah. I don't really have much on my mind today other than um, the title, which titling things is really weird, right? You got to be a little clickbaity, but um, big thing that resonated with me yesterday is that blame is a useless tool in general. So what I mean by that is basically when you're giving blame to something, that just means you're not accepting responsibility for something. And not accepting responsibility for something is the ultimate way to not move forward in life. So what I mean by that is anything, right? You get pulled over for speeding and you got a speeding ticket because you were late to work. Now you're late for work with a speeding ticket and you're even more late for work. So what you could do is you could just blame the officer, be like, what a jerk. He's got nothing better to do than to keep people safe on the roads by giving me a speeding ticket and trying to teach me a lesson about how not to speed to put other people's lives in jeopardy. Right? You could say that, and that's blameful. But basically what you do is you all blame is shifting ownership off of something you should have responsibility for. So while we're at it, why don't we go to the old Google definition? Blame, assign responsibility for a fault or wrong. Yeah, totally. And that's what blame is, assigning the responsibility for something when you should be responsible for all your own actions. Because if you were to just say, hey, it's my fault for speeding because I was trying to get to work in a hurry. I should have just planned better. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to plan better. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to wake up at my first alarm clock and instead of hitting snooze 10 times so I can be on time and I don't have to speed through traffic, putting people's lives in jeopardy. Right. So that's just one example of what blame is. But the most notable thing I would say that is detrimental to most people's lives, and blame in general could wind you up in a rabbit hole blaming everyone for everything at all times. But the biggest thing I would say is one's own fulfillment or happiness, because if you do not accept responsibility and take ownership of your own happiness, constantly what you're going to do throughout your life is just give blame for everything. You're going to give blame for why you're unhappy. And you're always going to find an issue with everyone and everything. And you're always going to blame other people for your unhappiness or current state of mood, even if it's subconsciously. So, we've always met those people who are just constantly crabby. There's nothing you can do to help them, right? You could give them the perfect day on a silver platter and they would still be like, yeah, it was great, but it would have been better if it was 5 degrees warmer. Like, you just had a perfect day, man. Come on. That's silliness. So once you, and it's a really hard thing to take responsibility for every single one of your own actions because it's so easy to blame. It's so easy to pass blame to other people or to other things as to why you're unhappy or why you're not succeeding. And it's so hard to accept responsibility because now you have to accept reality. And accepting reality is really hard for a lot of people because we don't want to have these honest, introspective conversations with other people nor ourselves. Because once we have honest conversations with ourselves, that's one of the hardest kinds of conversations to have. It's easy to have a conversation with someone else in this day and age where we just talk about stuff and things and don't really talk about anything of consequence or value, right? What did you do last night? Oh, I went here with X. Oh, I just bought this thing. I just went on vacation, right? How does that serve anyone in real life? I don't know. I don't think it does, I would argue, unless it leads to a real conversation somewhere about emotions or feelings and thoughts and principles and philosophies and that sort of thing. And it's really easy when you talk to someone, be like, yeah, totally. Next week, next Monday, I'm going to get on a diet and, everything is going to be going well. And blah, 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 right? Next Monday never comes for most people because next Monday is a procrastination term used for I'm not going to get around to it. So it's so easy to dismiss that conversation because next time, well, what happened? I thought you were going to go on a diet last Monday. Oh, I just next Monday, right? That's how easy it is to blow off those real conversations. But once you start having a real conversation with yourself, you cannot get away from yourself, right? You wake up in the morning, maybe you have a mirror, maybe you don't, but you look yourself in the mirror and you either look yourself in the eyes and you love yourself, or you look yourself in the eye and you immediately turn away, because the person you can never escape in your life is yourself. Your best friend, your worst enemy, somewhere in the middle. That's who you are to yourself. You cannot escape yourself. And once you have an honest conversation with yourself, let's go back to that diet analogy of, I need to lose weight, things have got to change. I'm starting Monday. Let's say you say that, and you wake up Tuesday, you're going to have to face yourself that next day and either consciously or subconsciously understand that you are succeeding in your endeavors or you are not succeeding in your endeavors. And if you don't take responsibility and you just turn the other eye, you are going to be a crabby person and take it out on everyone around you because you are unhappy, because you are not accepting responsibility for your unhappiness. That's basically it. I mean, it doesn't get more simple than that. And you have to take ownership for everything in your life. It doesn't matter what age you are, what race you are, what sex you are, what gender you are. It doesn't matter what the hands of life have dealt you on the playing table of the proverbial cards of life. All that matters is, what are you going to do about it? That's accepting responsibility. What is the next step you are going to take? What is the next action you are going to take to ultimately lead you to where you want to be for fulfillment and happiness? That's it. Oh, side note, diet's going well. I ate a bunch of food this weekend. Felt great for it. Oh, if I had to guess, because I don't count calories anymore, I would guess I ate around 1,500 calories yesterday to make up for this weekend of debauchery. So I'll probably have one more day of 1,500 calories ish today. I feel a little hungry today, but I'll probably eat pretty light, keep activity to a slow pace, and then ramp calories back up tomorrow. I don't know what ramping up calories means for me on a slight deficit, maybe like 2,200. But I basically just eat by feel nowadays, and I eat pretty healthy. Although I did have 2 snack size Almond Joys yesterday, and they were delicious, and I don't regret it. And I will continue to eat snack size Almond Joys until they're all gone, because that's the way I roll. That's it. Be good humans.